Hello everyone and welcome back to Andydayfm, and today's experiment is a Halloween special where something spooky has been happening to all of the teams across the world. Let's have a look, shall we? Now everything looks perfectly fine. Yes, Burnley, Luton and Sheffield United are still in the Premier League, and that's because we're running with a standard database on Football Manager. But I'm going to look a little bit deeper to find out the spooky goings on. And this is what I mean by spooky goings on. Every single player in the world has disappeared. And I haven't been wiped out of the game, so don't worry about that. They are just waiting for the right team to come in and pick them. So they could end up anywhere. Just look at Aston Villa Football Club. Not one single real player. And it's like that for every other team in the league, going all the way up from Arsenal down towards Wolverhampton. And it's the exact same. Every single club will have the opportunity to handpick their players on a free. Now, it isn't just the English Premier League. It has happened to teams in Germany. It's happened to teams in Spain as well. And in Italy, the players have disappeared as well. And it's even gone as far down as the Sky Bet League 2 in England. So what I want to know is what club is going to sign what player, who will sign who. Let's find out at the end of the first transfer window. So September 1st has rolled around, which means that the transfer window has now closed. And by the looks of it, Arsenal have definitely done some business during that time, making signings such as Alisson, Nicola Barella, Kieran Trippier, David Alaba, just a few standout names as well. Pedri has gone to Arsenal as well. Moving down to Aston Villa, and to be fair, they haven't really done much, but the one name that does stick out is the Cole Palmer. He is signed for Aston Villa Football Club. What a name that is. But that's probably only the most notable mention for Villa. Can he make a difference for the club maybe? But I'll tell you something, Bournemouth have really taken a step into that transfer market. Just look at some of those names. Antonio Silva for one, Richarlison another one, Ryan Gravenberch. I tell you what, Bournemouth have really done some decent work there. And with Brentford as well, it looks like the same as well. John McGinn, one of the ex-Villa players, signing for the Bees, as well as Paulo Dybala and Ollie Watkins, who used to play for Brentford. Well, he's gone back there as again. Marcel Sabitzer, he's gone to Brentford, as well as Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So definitely some strike force to work with for Bournemouth. As for Brighton, not really much to sing and dance about, if I'm honest with you. Really? I mean, Nicholas Otamendi maybe a notable mention, but other than that, there's not really much. And Burnley, wow, Burnley have really definitely signed some players. Jared Braithwaite for one. That's Fraser Forster. That's probably the only name that I can see really that jumps out at me. Chelsea, Harry Kane. Harry Kane has gone to Chelsea from Bayern Munich. Kingsley Coman as well. Victor Gyökeres, he has joined up with the Blues. Upamecano as well, he's also gone over to Chelsea, as well as Tino Livramento, an English superstar in the making. Riyad Mahrez, he's joined up with them as well. And Rafael Leao, he's gone over to Chelsea. Now, although it may not look like much, but Crystal Palace have definitely been working. Look at this. Look at some of these players who are down here. I mean, I could probably pronounce half of these, but Frank Kessley from Barcelona, he's probably a standout mention for the Eagles. But with Fulham as well, they've signed quite a fair few players as well. Iago Aspas joining up with Fulham Football Club. Axel Witsel also going. Ian Martson, who's currently on loan at Aston Villa at the minute. Esri Konza as well, another ex-Villa player. I mean, everybody loves to poach our players, don't they? But maybe that's saying something about Aston Villa Football Club. And in typical Liverpool fashion, look at some of these players. Gvardiol, Bruno Guimaraes, Ruben Diaz, Phil Foden, Marc-Andre ter Stegen as well. Lautaro Martinez. I tell you what, Liverpool at the minute would be favourites to win the current Premier League. Jack Grealish as well, Williams from Atletico Bilbao, Luke Shaw as well. I tell you what, Marco Verratti also joining up with Liverpool, Romelu Lukaku. I'll tell you something, these guys will definitely be a force to be reckoned with. And with Luton Town, I know they've been relegated, but this was last year's database, or within this game's database, signing Jordan Pickford from Everton, who we know that Jordan Pickford was on a free as well, but Daley Blind as well, and Savic as well, joining from Fiorentina. I tell you what, Luton have definitely been busy as well. It may not look like much, but this is what I'm quite intrigued by. How will Man City do? Vinicius Jr. Of course, Manchester City, signed Vinicius Jr. Frankie de Jong as well. Declan Rice, he's gone over to the Citizens. He's there. He's going to be playing for Man City this season. Gabriel Martinelli signing up from Arsenal as well. Darwin Núñez from Liverpool, he's there. Laporte, he's also in there as well. Now again, Man United don't look like they've actually done much, but Marco Asensio being a standout name as well. Jeremy Doku joining over from the blue side of Manchester at Manchester City. Levi Colwill from Chelsea. Conor Gallagher currently at Atletico Madrid. He's joined up with Manchester United. So some big names there for Man United. I thought they might have done a bit more, but you know, well, never mind. It's only the first transfer window. I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come in January. But Trent Alexander-Arnold is playing for the Magpies. He has gone over to Newcastle from Liverpool, so that's quite a big name. Federico Chiesa joins up with the Magpies also from Juventus, and Pepe Matar Sarr, I'm sure he's at Watford at the minute. He's joined up with Newcastle, as well as Ansu Fati. He is also there as well. And Edouard Mendy, the goalkeeper, he is joined up with Newcastle United, and so is Benjamin White and Sabatsai, who's currently playing his football at Liverpool. Now Nottingham Forest look like they've done a little bit of business as well. Keylor Navas, the goalkeeper, he's joined up with Forest, as well as Mark Gay. He's signed up from Crystal Palace, I think he's there at the minute. So not a bad... Oh, there's a name for you. Jeremy Sarmiento, a up-and-coming prospect in the game and in real life as well. Sheffield United, the name that jumps out at me isn't actually Ivan Toney, but it's the young striker Moukoko, signed from Borussia Dortmund. I think he's playing somewhere over in Greece at the minute, but that's a name that's definitely going to jump out. And Sergio Gomez as well, he is at the Blades, as is Miguel Almiron from Newcastle. Well, he was at Newcastle, but he's gone elsewhere. Ivan Toney, he has signed up for Sheffield United, and so has Goncalves from Sporting Lisbon. I think it's Sporting Lisbon at the minute is where he's playing his current football. And Tottenham Hotspur, name that's jumping out at me is Matthias de Ligt, only because I know Matthias de Ligt from previous Football Manager games, and in real life he's not a bad defender, currently playing his football at Manchester United. And Sandro Tonali has joined up with the Spurs, as well as has Pedro and Rafinha from Barcelona. Those are two standout names that are jumping out at me at the minute. And way down at the bottom are West Ham United. Where are Wolves? What's happened to Wolves? Surely they kind of not signed somebody. I'll have a look at that in a minute. But this is what I love about this save. This is what I love about the experiments. You don't expect to see things like this. Jamal Musiala has signed for the Hammers. That's it. Musiala. Just that name puts shivers down the spines of the opposition players. Nico Williams is there as well, and so is Yildiz. He has also signed for West Ham United. I can't seem to find Wolverhampton Wanderers. What's happened to them? Let's have a quick look. Wolves haven't signed a single player since the market opened. They're still playing with regens and players who aren't even real. How will that affect the Premier League for them? And I did forget about Everton as well. They haven't signed a single player during the transfer market neither. I know that they've started this season on minus points, but has that had such an effect on who they sign? They didn't have a transfer embargo, surely. Well, let's have a look at the end of this year, December 31st, 2023. Let's have a look at how the season's faring up. It is New Year's Eve, December 31st, and the January transfer market opens up tomorrow. And judging by the Premier League table, not much has changed, or you wouldn't really think so. Man City, who are currently top 7 points above Liverpool, playing 19 games, winning 17, only drawing 1 and losing 1. And you know something? I never even noticed that Kylian Mbappe had signed for the Citizens. He's actually the second top goal scorer in the Premier League at the minute, only second to Jared Bowen, who's playing his football at the minute, as mentioned, at Aston Villa. He has scored 14 goals for Villa, who are currently sitting in 10th. And just looking at the bottom of the table, Wolves and Everton are really, really struggling, and I'm probably going to take a swing and a guess that they've drawn against each other. And that's quite an effect of them not actually signing any players during the summer market. It really has taken an effect on them. Okay, so let's jump to the end of January. Let's see how the January transfer market occurs, and let's see if anybody else signs any more players. It does actually look like some of the squads in the Premier League have actually managed to bolster their squads through January. It is now the 1st of February. I would like to just make a quick note of, so we have actually gone a day over since the January transfer market has closed its doors until the summer period. And actually the first signing was actually made on the 1st of January, New Year's Day, and it was Ochoa, who went from Sheffield United to AJ Auxerre in France. So it's not a bad signing for the French outfit, but strangely enough, it's actually the other teams I'm kind of looking at now. And Ryan Sessegnon has joined up with Sheffield United on a free transfer. So some of these players weren't actually signed during the summer transfer window, but it definitely looks like they've been signed up now. And just one notable mention, Timothy Weah has joined up with Crystal Palace, and it does look like Wolves have actually signed a player, John Clark. He's gone over to Wolves, so maybe he might be able to prevent Wolves from being relegated, but we'll soon find out at the end of the season. Callum Hudson-Odoi has joined up with Manchester United, as well as Abdou Fatawu and Nicolo Fagioli. He's also joined up with Manchester United, so they've actually done a bit of business to bolster their squad as well. Alan St. Maxin has also joined it with Crystal Palace. I think I mentioned that already. And Yuri Tillemans, previously of Aston Villa Football Club, he's joined Brentford. Alex Moreno, who again was previously of Aston Villa, has gone over to Chelsea. Very interesting signing there indeed, and not really many notable mentions to state, really, just looking at this now. Like I mentioned, a couple of the teams have signed players to bolster their squads, and hopefully that will have a positive effect for them come the end of the season. So let's have a look. May 31st, the end of the first season, and we'll see who has won the league. Now, this is something that I have never ever seen before. It's actually a playoff in the Premier League, and it was actually between Arsenal and Newcastle, and it does appear that Arsenal actually beat Newcastle United on penalties. We'll have a look at that in just a second, but it does actually look as though, just looking a little bit deeper into this, it was actually for the final Champions League playoff spot. Arsenal obviously winning the games today have actually managed to go above Newcastle, but Newcastle managed to win more games than Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal drew and Newcastle lost more, but wouldn't it go on games won, or would it go to a head-to-head? And well, anyway, Arsenal have actually managed to finish fourth, and it does appear as if Wolves and Everton and their lack of signings in September and January has actually cost them massively. I mean, just look at the goal difference. I mean, minus 145 for Everton, minus 140 for Wolves. And even Bournemouth have suffered relegation. They're actually in minus 70. Is that minus 70? I don't know. No, I can't see the rest, but it's minus 70 something anyway But Sheffield United just about managing to stay up, as well as Luton, Crystal Palace and Brentford, who were closest to Bournemouth and that final relegation spot. But Burnley, very good shout out to Burnley Football Club, have actually managed to qualify for the Europa Conference League for next season, finishing 6 points above Manchester United in the Premier League, who could only salvage 8th spot. Villa finished 11th, Forest and West Ham were 12th and 13th, with Fulham and Brighton finishing in the top half of the table as well. So a real lack of player signings for Wolves and Everton have really cost them massively. But will it have an effect on them for next season, do you wonder? But anyway, just to address the elephant in the room as well, Manchester City have won the Premier League with 102 points. That's quite a gap between Liverpool, who finished in second on 88 points, and Chelsea, who finished third. Quick mention as well for Newcastle, who did finish in fifth, albeit that loss to Arsenal in the playoffs, and Tottenham did actually finish sixth. But also, Gianluca Scamacca finished top goal scorer for Burnley, beating Kylian Mbappe of Manchester City by 3 clear goals. Scamacca scoring 24 goals in the season, whilst Mbappe could only manage 21, and Jarrod Bowen actually managed to score 20 goals for the Villa boys since the start of the season. Just a quick look at the FA Cup final as well before we look lower down the leagues and into Europe. It was actually Sunderland versus Tottenham Hotspur in the FA Cup final, and Spurs have finally won a cup, albeit being the FA Cup. They managed to beat Sunderland on penalties 4-3. Now, how did Sunderland get to the final? I'm just looking at some of these players here. I mean, all other than Harvey Elliott, there's not really a great deal to look at for Sunderland, but they've managed to get to the FA Cup final somehow, so credit where credit's due. Well done to Sunderland, but congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur, who have won the FA Cup. There isn't really much surprise as to who has won the Carabao Cup this year. Manchester City beating Burnley, who had a fantastic season, now qualifying for Europe next season, actually beating Burnley 3-2, with Nicolas Gonzalez scoring a brace and Martin Odegaard scoring a goal in the first half as well. Tony Martinez did score a goal for Burnley in the second half, as did Vitina, who scored in the 72nd minute, but Manchester City managed to hang on to win another trophy. As for the UEFA Champions League Cup final, it was a 1-0 win for Paris Saint-Germain against AC Milan. Now, PSG have actually got a squad which consists of Jan Oblak, Di Lorenzo, Bremer, Zinchenko, Jude Bellingham, Kulusevski. There's some names in here, isn't there? Leroy Sané, Heung-min Son, Gabriel, Thiago Hernandez, Gabriel Jesus. They've really gone to town at PSG. But then again, even AC Milan have got some real quality in their squad. Zaire Emery, who was a previous player for PSG. Kai Havertz is there too, Alexander Isak and Serge Gnabry, who is also playing his football at AC Milan. Milan really have gone to town. For the UEFA Europa League Cup final, it was an all-English final between Newcastle United and Liverpool. Inaki Williams scoring in the 81st minute to help Liverpool lift up the Europa League Cup final at the expense of the Geordies, and quite a dominating performance too from the Scousers. 18 shots to Newcastle's 2, only 3 on target though for Liverpool, so it might have actually been a bigger score line than just 1-0 if they could actually get more shots on target. But finally, for our final European competition, let's have a look at the Europa Conference League. It's AZ Alkmaar who came out victorious against Austria Vienna, 2-1. Jeffrey Vett scoring the 2 winning goals for the Dutch outfit, with Lucas Renner only scoring the 1 goal for Austria Vienna. So a cup final victory for the Dutch outfit. Let's have a look at the lower leagues of English football and see if there were any surprises. Well, this is what the Sky Bet Championship looks like, and it seems to be great success for the northern clubs of England. Middlesbrough going up with 110 points, and I tell you what, Birmingham City have also gone up in one of the automatic playing spots as well, finishing with 114 points. What has happened at Birmingham City? Sunderland went up via the playoffs at the expense of Millwall. I did just have a quick sneaky look as well, and it is right there in my square, staring at me in the face. Millwall 0, Sunderland 1 in the playoff final at Wembley. But 4 clubs finished with 100 plus points. You've got a feel for Swansea City, who finished with 102 points and still did not get promoted. Also, Watford, Queen's Park Rangers and Bristol City have been relegated. Leeds United just about staying up on 24 points. But I tell you what, that's ridiculously close at the bottom there. Only 8 points between Leicester City and Bristol City. So it was ridiculously tight. As for Sky Bet League 1, it looks as though Burton will be going up to the Championship, albeit at the expense of Blackpool. But looking at this, Bolton Wanderers are going up with 103 points, finishing top as champions, with Charlton Athletic also going up in second place as well. Peterborough United, Derby County, Reading and Wigan all going down as well. As for Sky Bet League 2, it's Wrexham who have made it back-to-back promotions, finishing at Wrexham 2, Bradford City 0 in the Sky Bet League 2 playoff final. But it's Colchester United who go up as champions, albeit only 1 point above Accrington Stanley, who finish in second place, with Morecambe chasing them close behind on 79 points, finishing third. And as mentioned, Wrexham have also gone up too. Swindon Town and Tranmere Rovers have been relegated down to the Vanarama National League. Now, we do just want to have a quick look at the rest of the world in regards to some of the big names in football. I know Kylian Mbappe joined up with Manchester City at the start of this season, but I just want to find the rest of them to see if there was any surprises. As mentioned previously, Lionel Messi has gone over to the Saudi Professional League, joining Al Ittihad, who's actually earning just under 7.5 million. I don't know if that'll be per month, surely, not per week. But then again, that's the Saudi Pro League. They can just chuck out money wherever they want, can't they? Antoine Griezmann, anyway, still playing at Barcelona, where he is currently in real life. We've mentioned about Phil Foden. Rodri is actually signed for Italian outfit Lazio, and Mohamed Salah has also joined up with Al Nassr. We saw that Harry Kane joined up with Chelsea, but Bernardo Silva has joined Al Shabab. That's quite a signing for any team. Doesn't matter how much money they're throwing around, but I tell you what, that's a great signing for Al Shabab. And I'm pretty sure they've actually signed some more players, and they really have. Erling Haaland has joined the Saudi Pro League, and he's on £952,000 per month. That is PM, not PW, so it's per month. That's quite low in terms of what some of the Saudi Pro Leagues are paying their players. But Erling Haaland, he had the world at his feet at Borussia Dortmund and Manchester City, and he's joined up with the Saudi Pro League. This is what I love about these type of experiments. They just throw out so many different surprises at you, and that one has really caught me off guard. I figured he might have gone to somewhere like Real Madrid or Barcelona, even PSG. He could have even signed for Manchester City in this experiment, but no, he's gone over to the Saudi Pro League, as has Robert Lewandowski. He is there as well. He's joined it with Al Hilal over in the Saudi Pro League, along with Ederson. The former Manchester City goalkeeper has joined the Saudi Pro League. Yes, he's 30 years of age and you kind of expect it to, but still, that is quite amazing. Jude Bellingham has gone over to PSG, as we mentioned when we looked at the Champions League Cup final win against AC Milan, as has Leroy Sané. But here's another one for you. Virgil van Dijk, the Dutch defender, has gone over to Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League. Pedri signed for Arsenal, as mentioned at the beginning of the save, and Courtois the former Real Madrid goalkeeper, is still without a club at the age of 32, so he may find it very, very difficult to find a club. Neymar is still in the Saudi Pro League. Just looking a bit further down there, we've all seen the English transfers, but Manuel Akanji, formerly of Manchester City, is now playing his football in Madrid, Real Madrid to be precise, as is Hakimi, who was formerly of PSG. He went over to the Saudi Pro League as well for some very, very big money. Who else was there? Victor Osimhen has joined the Saudi Pro League also. And I tell you what, there really are some massive names here, but no more so, no bigger name. And this one caught me off guard when I had a previous look at it. Cristiano Ronaldo used to play his football at the very beginning of his career for Sporting Lisbon. In real life, he turned around and said, one day, very, very soon, hopefully, I may be able to rejoin Sporting Lisbon to repay them for giving me the chance when I was a young player. He has joined up with FC Porto, so he's gone against his words in this experiment. I'll tell you something, I really do love this type of database. Players have gone here, there and everywhere. John Stones, he's in the Saudi Pro League as well. Rafael Varane, he is over there. I could look at this for hours and I'd still be surprised at some of the names who have gone to weird and wonderful places. But Eduardo Camavinga, he's gone over to the Qatar Stars League, playing for Al-Duhail. That one caught me off guard a little bit, because Camavinga was supposed to be this young and youthful upcoming prospect in the football world, and yet he's joined up with the Qatari Football League. But no, I tell you, the one that's really caught me off guard, it was Jamal Musiala signing for West Ham United. This really has been the experiment, and it's really caught me off guard with some of these signings. Some of the league title wins as well, especially with the Championship and League One finishing as close as what they did. Let's have a quick look at around Europe to see where every other European club finished in their respective league. It was a three-horse race in the Bundesliga then, with Red Bull Leipzig finishing third, Bayern Munich in second, and Borussia Dortmund finishing as champions of the Bundesliga. That puts a smile on my face. Werder Bremen and Darmstadt also getting relegated from the top flight down to the second tier of German football. Well, I mentioned about a three-horse race over in the Bundesliga. This one was a four-horse race between Atletico and Real Madrid, Real Sociedad and Barcelona, with Atletico Madrid coming out on top on... Actually, that's quite intriguing, because Atletico Madrid actually finished one goal behind in terms of goal difference to Real Madrid, but Atletico Madrid won one more game than Real Madrid. So could that have been based on games won? Because it surely couldn't have been based on goal difference, could it? Real Sociedad finishing 1 point behind the two teams from Madrid, and Barcelona finished in fourth place. That was ridiculously close, but Benjamin Sesko was the league's top goal scorer for Atletico Madrid with 23 goals. And finally, over in Serie A, it was AC Milan who did finish runners-up in the UEFA Champions League, actually managed to win the Italian league title, finishing top on 94 points, 6 points above second place Lazio, and Napoli, who finished in third on 83 points. But I tell you something, Inter Milan can only finish in 13th place in Serie A, with Fiorentina, Atalanta and AS Roma finishing very, very close to that relegation spot. And that really was close for AS Roma, as Sassuolo got themselves relegated on 11 points. Udinese and Hellas Verona also getting relegated as well. So quite a fair few spooky surprises that we've just found within that experiment, and I really enjoyed doing that one. It was quite a surprise just to see where some of these world famous footballers would actually end up, with the majority of them actually ended up signing with Saudi Pro League teams. But you know what, if there's money to be thrown around, then throw it in the right directions, and then the players will probably follow suit as well. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please hit the like button, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. The channel is growing daily. So many more subscribers since we first started this YouTube channel up, and I really do appreciate every single one of you who have hit that subscribe button so far. We're getting very close to 5,000 subscribers here, guys, and there's so many more experiments to come. Well, it just leaves me to say happy Halloween, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye for now.